Welcome to the Smart Dating Academy podcast. I'm Bela Gandhi, the founder of Smart Dating Academy and your host. I started Smart Dating Academy in 2009 because I had this crazy knack of giving people dating advice that actually worked, that I took. I've been married for almost 25 years, and now my company helps people to date smarter and to find love. This podcast is meant to bring more love into your life, no matter where you are and what you do. And we're here to bring more life into your love. Smart daters, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you about dating. I know it feels for a lot of you that we're hearing that there's kind of a lull. Peak dating season is now over, and it's, geez, what can I do to ramp things up for my dating life? So what I wanted to talk to you today about are 7 small changes that you can make starting today that can potentially lead to big results. So let's dive right into these. So change number 1, that's small, but that can lead to big results, is change your online parameters. Now, what does that mean? Think about all of the things that you can choose on an online dating site. You can expand your age range. You can expand the height range you're open to, the zip code or the radius, right? You can look at people that are different than you in, I don't know, ethnicity, race, religion, whatever feels good to you. Change some of your online parameters. Remember, every inch in height that you widen your parameters, you can make sure that you will be screening in hundreds, if not thousands of new candidates. And what Lindsay, Eileen, and I want to make sure is that you are not screening the love of your life out by 1 inch, right? You know, I've heard all of these stories, like with Nancy Holla, who was 6 feet tall, who didn't want to date anyone who wasn't 6'1" or over. She changed her height parameters to her height of being 6 feet tall. And if you haven't heard the podcast, go back to Nancy's love story, which was in 2022, and listen for that. And I'll put a note about that in the show notes. But when she expanded her height criterion, she let in the love of her life, David Bruce, who was truly her last first date, right? So if you're on Match, right, a good test, as Lindsay says, is to see how many people you have in your mutual match, right? And you can create a saved search with really narrow parameters and watch how quickly you're filtering people out. Every time we get narrower with our search, we're screening more and more people out. So remember, love is going to come to you in an unexpected package. So challenge yourself to push something outwards, meaning being more expansive in your online parameters, and see what that brings you. And don't get nervous, because you can always change those things back, but play around with them. Number 2. Small change that can lead to big result. My friend Rachel Greenwald talks about a game called 3 Blind Mice, and you can play this online, which I love. What is that? So if you're online dating, pick 3 people you would maybe normally skip over as long as they don't have red flags, right? And send them a message. What this does is it potentially opens you up to being open to new people. You know who you're looking for. But if you feel like you're too stuck in a rut and you want to expand your net, you don't know how, you're seeing the same people, deliberately pick 3 people where you're like, wow, I've never gone out with someone who's blah, 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 or someone who doesn't have a degree, or someone who lives 35 miles from me, whatever that is. Pick 3 people, but make sure that they don't have any red flags. They don't seem angry or negative or critical in their profiles, and set up a video date with them. And your challenge to yourself is to find 3 things that you potentially like about this person, right? So game it with yourself, and you're not being mean, because you never know, you might really like this person that you wouldn't have normally, and you might want to go on a second date with this person. So play 3 blind mice, pick 3 people that you never normally would, and see where it goes, right? Love is going to come to you in an unexpected package. And I'm telling you today about little changes you can make to your mindset, to the things that you're doing to bring in that one special lid to your pot. Okay. Now, along with that is change number 3 that you can make, which is change your story. Change the story that you're telling yourself about dating, right? Maybe you're telling yourself, I hate dating. Maybe you're telling yourself, I'm not a good dater. Maybe you're telling yourself, there's no good people out there. Maybe you're telling yourself, I'm too damaged. I've got too much baggage. I don't know how to talk about my story. Change the story that you're telling yourself. Dating is fun. Turn yourself into a psychotic optimist. Love is out there for me. It's a when, not an if. And all I have to do is date like hell until I find this person, right? And stories that I've seen my clients change. Some people come into us. I had a client years ago named Sandy, and she would always say, Bella, I'm the 4th date wonder. And I'd say, what does that mean? She's like, I can get to the 4th date, and then after that, they always disappear, right? And so I'm like, what is that? But the story that she was telling herself was, okay, I'm good until the 4th date. So what do you think she was doing on the 4th date? Do you think she was acting like the best version of herself, which was consistent with the last 3 dates? No, she wasn't, because the story she was telling herself was, well, shit, the other shoe's going to drop after this date. So she was more anxious and more closed down. So through coaching, we worked on that. And the first time she got her 5th date, after telling herself, this is just a story I'm telling myself, I am not a 4-date wonder, we were doing such a fun, happy dance in our office because she got to the 5th date. If the story you're telling yourself is, I'm a 4-date wonder, I'm a 1st date wonder, I can't get past 6 months, whatever it is, change the story you're telling yourself. And if you need some help around that, enlist us to help you, coach you through what those stories are and where you need help. Because ladies and gentlemen, we all have stories that hold us back, that keep us stuck and keep us doing the same things over and over again. If you need help, golly George, reach out for help. It exists and you are worth it. Okay, change number 4. This is an easy one. If you're online dating, okay, change the time that you're going online. If you're always checking the sites and the apps at the end of the day, after you've had a long, grueling day at work, maybe you've been to the gym, whatever it is, and you're looking at the sites and the apps with exhausted, jaded eyes, change things up. Maybe look at it over your lunch break. Maybe when you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, first thing in the morning, but change up the time that you're online, because you never know what the algorithms are going to serve you up at different times as well. I have no control over the algorithms, but what I can tell you is looking at the sites at different times can generate different results. And most importantly, you might see different people at those times. And also, you might, quote unquote, see new people because you're in a different, more excited mindset because you are doing things differently. So isn't that easy? It's so fun and simple to do, but these are small changes that can lead to big results. Now, change number 5 is don't get married to any one dating site or app. change up your sites or apps every 3 months. Don't buy a 12-month membership, maybe pay by the month. So you feel like you have that flexibility. Date the sites as well. Ha. Just kidding. You don't want to get exclusive with any site too quickly. Don't be on anything for more than a year. I want you to have a fluid dating strategy. Remember, online dating is like the world's largest cocktail party. Okay. And imagine that. And all of the different rooms are like different apps. Okay. And this is a metaphor that I'm drawing. So what you want to make sure is that you're at the party, right? So you're online dating. Then what you want to give yourself flexibility to do is wander room to room and see who's in the other rooms. And that is what it's like to have a very fluid dating app strategy. At Smart Dating Academy, we have clients on 10 to 15 different sites and apps, right? And just, it depends on who you are, where you live, who you're looking for, what age you are, as to what site strategy we're going to give you. But if you're doing this on your own, just make sure that you've got a fluid strategy and change things up. Okay. Now, change number 6. This is a small one, but powerful and mighty. If you are rolling from work straight to date, and so many of you are, you've got great jobs and you go straight from work to the date, what I want you to do is change your appearance, change your clothes. It's that simple. Have dating outfits, right? Ladies, maybe for you, it's popping your berry lip, having a special shade of red that cues your brain that you're in dating mode. But what you want to do is have a ritual around how you look during dating, right? Go home, build in some time so that you can wash the stench of work off of you, change your clothes, freshen up. And ladies and gentlemen, this is for both of you, right? Even if work is super business casual, you want to look great for an in-person date because it's going to make you, most importantly, feel really good and attractive. And when you're feeling good and attractive, guess what you seem to the other person? You seem more attractive. So build in some time to change your look. I had a client, again, some years back named Jill, who had these gorgeous blue eyes. And one of the things I made sure for her photo shoot when she was starting this process is that she had this gorgeous blue wrap dress because it really made her eyes pop in her photos. And so she got so much great feedback on the blue dress photos that she started to wear blue dresses on dates. And every time she would come home from work, she would pick out one of her 5 different blue dresses and she would put them on, and she found that dating became more fun because she knew when she put this dress on, she was going to turn into dating Jill instead of work Jill. So take these little changes that you can make. What can you do today? Guys, can you bring a sport coat to the office, a crisp pressed shirt that you're going to wear on your date so that you look like you haven't been sitting around in the same clothes for 10 hours? Ladies, maybe you wear a great dress to work, but bring some fun kicking heels with you. Pop your lip, maybe change your hair, right? If you've had your hair up all day, zhuzh it up and bring it down. What can you do to make yourself feel better and that you've taken the work day off of you and you've transformed into dating mode? And 7, the last little change that you can make is a big one. I want you to change the internal clock that you have about when you're supposed to meet the lid to your pot. We work on this a lot at Smart Dating Academy because, our clients that work with us are working with us typically for a 1-year engagement, right? And then they get on to 2 and 3 years. But what we're doing is helping them to see that just because you're engaging us for 1 year doesn't mean the lid to your pot is going to come in the year. There are many people that go on to year 2, year 3, year 4, even when you're dating the right way, right? There's certain things that the universe or God has in store that I don't have control over, right? But that last first date is going to come into your inbox, I promise. But what I want you to do is change the internal clock that you have on yourself. Maybe you're 35 24 years old and telling yourself, my gosh, my biological clock is ticking and I need to find someone right away so that I can hunker down, get married, and have babies. And if I don't, I'm wasting my childbearing years. Or maybe you're telling yourself, oh my gosh, I'm 49 years old and I've got to date somebody before I turn 50, because if not, I'm going to be washed up. Whatever that time clock is, give yourself some grace, ladies and gentlemen. There is no time clock on love. This is the number one most important decision you're ever going to make in your life. And that decision requires patience, positivity, and perseverance. So if you tell yourself, I'm giving this 30 days, I'm giving it 90 days, whatever it is, and you're putting all of that internal pressure on yourself, don't do that. You are probably going to come from a place of fear, come from a place of anxiety. You're going to dread dating, and you're not going to have the good results that you could. So I hope that this little mini-ish episode has inspired you, that you can make some of these small changes to start to get big results. And remember, just because you make a small change today doesn't mean you're going to get a big result today. You've got to have the mindset of dating is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And my small change today could lead to the love of my life. Maybe it's expanding my height criterion. Maybe it's telling myself, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. I'm a psychotic optimist and love is going to come to me. I'm going to get rid of my time clock. Maybe you're going to get online tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. versus getting online at 10 p.m. every day. Whatever it is, I wish you nothing but love and the best of luck making these changes. And if one of these changes worked, reach out to us, DM us, follow us on Instagram at Smart Dating Academy. Sign up for our newsletter at smartdatingacademy.com. We would love to have you in our email database where you'll learn about things first. And of course, if you need help, reach out to schedule a consultation. It'll be the best money that you've ever spent. With that, smart daters, I wish you love, beauty, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next week.